JT Shaver here with New Layer, and today I have a little update and comparison on the Lupo Actionpanel Full Color and Bicolor to help you decide which one is best for you. This is the Lupo Actionpanel Full Color, and it's the RGBWW version of their popular Bicolor panel. I did an in-depth review of the Bicolor version and their Smart panel, which is an insanely bright pocket-sized light, so I'll have links to that in the description if you want to see all the details before watching this. There's also a few lighting setups in that video that show off just how bright you can make these lights. First, I quickly want to recap all of the features of both of these lights, and then I'll go into what makes the full color version unique. The defining feature on both of these lights is their focusing lens. The plastic element in front of the LEDs focuses the light into a 40-degree beam angle, which just makes it a lot brighter than any other light this size. It's also kind of the opposite of what other diffusion screens do, which is diffuse the light and spread it out in all directions. Because the light is concentrated into a tighter area, you get more usable brightness, and it's kind of like a built-in grid. It makes it easier to control the light spill, but it's not so limiting that you can't light a group of people or a big background and stuff like that. I think it's the perfect balance of brightness and beam angle to kind of just make the LED panel form factor most efficient. Another thing I love about these panels is their build quality, or more importantly, their build material. They use a special material called technopolymer, and it's extremely sturdy for how lightweight it is. I also want to mention that these lights do use fans to cool them, but they are literally completely silent, so it's not something you have to worry about. The last thing that I want to cover are the power options that Lupo gives you to power these lights. They come with an AC adapter, but there's also an optional V-mount battery adapter that attaches directly to the bottom of these lights and makes them one of the most powerful portable options available. It's also important to note that if you're using battery power, you're limited to about 75% of the max brightness compared to AC power. That comes out to about 1/2 of a stop difference. Using something like a 100 watt-hour V-mount battery, you'll get around 2 hours of use out of this light at full power. I recently got some IntelliTech Pocket V V-mount batteries, and they're perfect for something like this light, where portability is one of the main factors. Some of my bigger batteries also interfere with the mounting yoke, and it just keeps you from tilting the light in the direction that you want. With the smaller batteries, it doesn't interfere, you can point the light in any direction. So both lights have insane brightness, good portability, and great build quality, so what makes the full color panel different than the bicolor version? There are some differences besides the obvious that this one has red, green, and blue LEDs in addition to the white and tungsten LEDs. The dual color panel has a color temperature range of 3200 to 5600 Kelvin, while the full color panel goes from 2800 to 10,000 Kelvin. I actually measured the maximum color temperature of the full color panel at 13,954 Kelvin, so it has an even bigger range than it says. That also means that what it says on the back isn't necessarily what's coming out the front, but after testing 200 LED lights, there's only a very small handful of lights that are accurate on the screen throughout the entire color temperature range. Either way, I highly recommend setting a custom white balance in your camera before shooting. Another great thing about this light having red, green, and blue LEDs is the tint control feature. That allows you to dial in the green or magenta tint to perfectly neutral or to match any other lights in your scene. On top of CCT mode, there's also RGBWW mode, where you can set the brightness of the red, green, blue, white, and tungsten LEDs independently. There's also HSI mode, which I use personally, and that allows you to set the hue, saturation, and intensity independently. In either mode, you can create any color, brightness, and saturation, so you just choose the one that you like best. Lupo also added some color presets that you can cycle through if you want to look for a specific color without much hassle. For brightness and color accuracy, I measured these lights with my Sekonic C800 from 1 meter and got the following results. The dual color panel maxes out at 11,900 lux, which is the equivalent of f9 at 1/50th of a second and ISO 100. The full color panel maxes out at 5,440 lux, or f6.3. So the dual color panel is almost exactly one full stop brighter, but the full color panel is still extremely bright for its size. For comparison, the full color panel is more than one full stop brighter than the Godox SL60W, while still being a softer light source at the same time. At the minimum and maximum color temperatures, the CRI of the dual color panel is between 94.4 and 96. The full color panel is between 89.9 and 92.8. If you stick closer to the 3200 to 5600 Kelvin range, both lights are essentially identical. The same thing goes for the TLCI, which is 96 throughout the color temperature range on the dual color panel, but 91 to 93 on the full color panel. I'm gonna skip the TM30 because it's more of the same, but if you do want to compare all of the specs that I measured, I'll have a link to my light comparison tool in the description so you can look at these lights side by side. The most important color accuracy measurement for these lights, in my opinion, is the SSI. With both lights set to 3200 Kelvin, I got an 85 SSI versus the tungsten standard, and with the light set to 5500 Kelvin, I got 72 for the dual color and 74 for the full color. So all this means is that the full color panel is just as accurate in the 3200 to 5600 Kelvin range, and on top of that, it has extra range on both ends. The last difference is that the full color panel has some built-in special effects, which a lot of people look for in an RGB light. It has what I consider some of the more practical effects, like a flickering TV set or a fire, and also some extras like paparazzi and party mode. The Actionpanel Dual Color is $588, and the full color version is $780, so you have to decide whether or not the almost $200 difference is worth it to you. If you're buying a pair or a complete set of these lights, I think it's a no-brainer to pick up at least one full color panel to use as a background or an accent light. So what do you think? If you had to choose just one, either the dual color or the full color version, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments because I reply to every single one. I do lighting gear reviews and other videos every week, so make sure you subscribe and follow me on social media because I post a lot of stuff there that doesn't quite make it to YouTube. I'll have links to these lights in the description, and they are affiliate links, but it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it really helps me create more videos like this. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.